Well, howdy, folks, and welcome to Unleash Your Productivity Launch Party. It is awesome to have you here. And look, we've got so many amazing people that's going to share some really cool stuff with you today. And I thought we'd just kick it off with just a little bit of a history on what has actually come about and how things have happened as far as this launch party is concerned. So I've got a lot of people to thank. I'm going to be thanking a lot of people during the day. And this is going to go for about 2 hours. Those people who cannot stay around, I understand. You know, we're all busy people. This will be recorded. Anybody registered will get a copy of the recordings. I want to make sure as many people as possible get to really hear and understand exactly what we're all about. So let me just go back over here. I'm going to share a bit of a screen here again with you and give you some insight into what is Productivity Hub. So going back in our history, we started off as basically an agency. There was an agency background. It's called Go High Level. And going back in 2018, they first launched their product around the world. And now, since 2018, there's now 20,000 agents. A bit of a typo there, but who cares? 500 now clients globally. So we are talking about a platform that has got some substantial parts to it, a global billion-dollar company. And so in 2019, I'm going, this community that I want to become a part of, they got some great things with 11 major features. And when we always talk about features, but I want to be really talking about the benefits today. We're going to hear some stuff. But I started this project called it CRM Hub. It was a fairly simple CRM. And it's just myself and Wayne. Wayne's an Aussie, he's an ex-policeman, come along, and we had some big goals. We set some big goals together. And so we wanted to make something that was truly unique. And so we set a vision and we set some goals. And our mission was to create time and freedom through technology and world-class support. Now, we all know that there's some great technology out there, but if you don't get the right support, it's not going to matter. And we had three really critical goals that we wanted to try and achieve. The first one is to develop a partnership where the partnerships, there was time and freedom and all-in-one ideas. And so we wanted to partner with people to get 20 different applications, 20 different ways to increase productivity, to create time and freedom within that one platform. The second goal we had was to create a global team. It provides that a same-day resolution. So the goal was very clear. We just don't want to be, Wayne and I sitting in our little offices in a place called Newcastle, New South Wales in Australia. We wanted to grow a global team. And our biggest thing was about getting support, not just here's the product and here's how to use the buttons, but true support. Support where you know how to use it, you get the most out of a product. And it doesn't matter how many features there are, unless you're getting the benefit, unless you are actually got something you can use that is going to save you time. That's the main thing. And our response rate, our goal was to try and get a 90% same day response rates. So same day, in other words, if you sent us a question, we want to respond to you and have some sort of resolution, hopefully within that first day. And the third one is to create a partner program that with representation in 5 countries is our original goal. So that was the vision and goal back in 2019. Where are we now? Well, goal number 1, 20 features now has been annihilated. We started with 11. We're now at 22. And we've got heaps and heaps more coming. We've now got a global team. All right. We have a global team now in multiple countries around the world. And our response rates have not just hit 90%, but 97% response rate where we can give an answer within the same day and response within the same business day or next business day. And the last one is to create a partner program. We wanted 5 countries. We're now in 7 countries around the world. And I'm actually sitting in our Thailand office, which is only established this week. And we're starting to grow into Thailand and Southeast Asia as well. What's the future hold? Well, I could talk about all the features and benefits, but I just wanted to say where the future lays is in the partnerships we grow. And if this is far greater than just creating a company that supports a particular or a couple of different families, we want to make sure that this does make a difference around the world. And so Destiny Rescue, only yesterday, we've secured a partnership with Destiny Rescue. It's a rescue children situation. Lots more to come and information about that. But we've already developed the principles around a charity ride in Thailand in 2004. And we've got some rewards programs to go with that, which is pretty cool. And a partnership program that's about doing global events with Minecraft, a group of people that I've been able to collaborate with. And it has been super, super fun. So you want to know what some of the things are, there's extra bits and pieces of features. I'm just going to run through them very quickly for you that's coming. Some of these are actually only weeks away. Some of them are still another 12 or so months away. So the transformation rewards, just feeling simply a rewards program. The productivity tribe, we are going to create a tribe. Think of it like a Facebook without the actual, all the ads and bits and pieces, where you can actually come in there and get your questions answered from experts around the world, all right, and not have to worry about getting booted out. One of the systems we're going to be doing and showing you today is how do you actually build your own tribe within that process. Some lead generation tools and systems that will blow your mind. Yeah, we're talking about lead generation here as a productivity tool, not as going out there and selling your soul to the next guru, but this is a productivity tool, easy to use, and we're going to be featuring one of those things today, all right? Document management tools, WhatsApp integrations, open APIs, so that, you know, we've actually seen, if we haven't seen, Stripe has been causing some people some challenges lately, so we're going to open up to more gateways. The side hustles, you know, we always talk about you should have between 5 and 10 different sources of income to keep things sustainable, particularly out of COVID. So we've got some extra side hustle sort of ideas. We're going to be hearing about those. Project management, live support, feedback and roadmaps. So lots of things coming, all right? As you can see, these are all about how do we make a business sustainable? How do we support you? How do we actually have things that you can use without overwhelming you? And we'll give you 100% support to do that. So one of the things we're doing today is we're going to move from a brand which has been around since we started in 2019 called CRM Hub to Productivity Hub. From CRM Hub to Productivity Hub. That is not just a brand launch. And I'm going to invite a very, very good friend, a guy I greatly respect, into our meeting now, Guy Wilson. And he's going to share with us, he was one of the people that really gave me the nudge to say it's time. And I've been working on this changeover a little bit now. So Guy, do you want to come into the room, mate? I will open this up for you and allow you to bring it on your video somehow here.
No, I don't have a video. I'm just going to talk, Kel.
You're right, mate. Not a worry at all.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks so much, Kel, for inviting me along here today. And if you will have a look at if you're watching this, you'll see that my name is I Know a Guy. Right? And that is the point that I want to start from, because I'm going to come to just trying to help everybody sort of create the vision that we're after results, we're after benefits, we're not after features. So there's an amazing amount of features in here, but I come from a tech background, and in fact, what I want to first do is just I'm the founder of the Connect Collaborative. But it's based on my belief that building relationships is the way to go. So how do I know Kel, right? I had a software business, and a guy came into my software business, this is years and years and years ago, and he was selling protocol analyzers, right? And I came to know him, and his name is Dean Hoban. He's been a friend of mine now for 30 years, right? He has become involved in the Connect Collaborative and introduced me to, or he found a guy by the name of Alan Stevens, right? So I've come to know Alan and we've become great mates. Alan introduced Kel. So that's how I come to know Kel, right? Now, if you were to go and get some productivity tools like any of the ones that you can find by Googling, you won't get to know Kel. You'll just get the tool. That's all you'll get, right? You won't get these relationships. You won't get the collaborations and so forth. And what are those collaborations worth? Well, I reached out to a guy on LinkedIn not that long ago because I'm a pet lover and he's a pet lover too. And he actually has developed a site since about 2018 where he's been developing a following. He gets about 6,500 visitors a day, And it's it is come time for him to monetize that in a bigger way than he has been. So he's been monetizing it, but only in a relatively small way. I have introduced him to Kel, as I have done many people, and he is thrilled and actually working with Kel in terms of pushing that out. There's another guy I think you're going to hear from later on, Scott Kundal. I've through the collaborative and the connections that we've had, it's been the same thing. So my message is this, and that is, whenever you make a decision, don't make a decision based on XY thinking. XY thinking is this the best tool for me? Well, in what way are you evaluating, is it the best tool? What does it come with? Are you only looking at it from the point of view of the primary function of that tool, or are you actually looking at it from the who's associated with that tool? What other things might happen? Now, what I particularly like about Kel is that I heard a thing a while ago, and that is that the best CRM is the one that people will actually use, right? So if you've got another one out there that's actually better, but you won't use it, then it's not a better tool, is it, when you think about it? So what I like about Kel in particular is that he's got a team of people that will make it work for you, okay? And that's really important, because if you try to do it on your own, like so many of us, we've got so many things to do. We often have great intentions. We often start a lot of things with great gusto, but then we don't continue on and we don't remain consistent. So what you really need to do is to understand what the tool is all about, what it can do and what have you, but then use a very efficient and effective way with an outsourced team of making that tool work for you to produce the end result. And you're not talking, you actually can talk to the owner of the company, being Kel, for example, and know that you're going to get the fantastic collaboration and resolution to any problems that you might have, and so forth. So to me, I'm using the product. I know that there's some fabulous things, and Kel keeps on adding them all the time, and that is great. But what I would be thinking if I were you as a business person is, what else can this do for me? Where else can this lead? Who else am I going to meet through Kel? Who can I introduce to Kel? How can I build those relationships? So that's it from me. I would encourage you. We have a couple of events coming up next week. I'm from the Connect Collaborative. We've got a couple of events on LinkedIn. I might just put them into the chat at the moment. Let me just see if I can do that. Just a second. There's one. We have one that's kind of suited, I suppose. Oops, I've sent that. I need to send that to everyone, don't I? There we go. Try again. Okay, there we go. That goes out to everybody. And here's the other one. No, I think I'll leave it with just that one. All right. So you can have a look up. You can sort of see the events that are coming up. And it's all about side hustles. And why? Not because we, the Connect Collaborative, are about side hustles, but that's one of the things that's overlooked, if you like. If you're a supplier, you don't want to overlook the side hustle market, because there's some very good people there with good incomes and what have you, who are very willing to learn, if you like, from people that have been in business, or to use systems and tools and those sorts of things. On the other hand, if you are thinking about a side hustle, then the smartest thing you can possibly do is to talk to people that have already been in business, work out how you can refer people to them, and build your own network. So, Kel, I think that's about it from me.
Mate, freaking legend, Guy. Yeah, we know a guy, and Guy knows a guy. He pretty much knows every guy and girl on the planet, I feel. And yeah, so thanks very much, mate. Been an absolute pleasure to hang around you, and the collaborations and the introductions you've made here has been amazing. So a couple of people are actually saying that apparently the URL is not working. Please just make sure that the event link is done, and we'll be sharing those along with you a little bit later on as well. So don't worry about it. You're not going to miss out on any of this detail today. So I guess it's a perfect change now to, we've talked about a little bit of the history. One of the features that we're adding in here is this idea of how do we use AI. Now, AI, as far as our philosophy here at the Productivity Hub is concerned, it's about using our AI as an enhancement to human intelligence, not as a replacement. And so I feel that the way in which what's going to happen within this particular feature is going to basically save you some time. But I also want to just take this moment to think about what is it that you're doing now, all right, and how can you do things better, all right? And the only way to do that is embrace the technology, but do not take away the human element. And the best person that I could think of on the planet that could actually really speak into this is a partnership that I've grown, a friendship, a bromance, whatever people like to call it. Scott Kundle, come on down, man. You are an absolute flipping legend. Scott's over in South Africa. So this is truly a global business now. I just wanted to have your perspective, mate. I'm going to actually stop the share. You and I can have a bit of a chat. And mate, tell us a little bit more about what My Most Trusted is and what you'd like to share with the folks today.
Oh, thank you so much, Kel. And you're absolutely right. You and I have struck up such a great friendship. And that's a special thank you to the guy that knows the guy. And if you need a guy, just reach out to Guy. I just made that up on the spot, by the way. But seriously, through the Connect Collaborative, you and I met, Kel, formed a number of great partnerships through the CC. But yeah, what we've formed together is amazing. And you've mentioned that word partnerships several times now. And that's where we come into this, because without partnerships, without a network to advocate, without the ability to be able to get people around you, and you don't have a business. You know, at least 50 to 70% of all business comes from referrals. And if you don't have a way of generating referrals in your business through strong, tight relationships, then you're going to have a bit of a problem. And that's where My Most Trusted comes along. And I'm going to show you guys over the next 10 minutes or so. I'm just going to quickly take you through how we connect with Kel and his system, a little bit about how we work with the Connect Collaborative as well, but more importantly, how you build your own network and what you do with it. And then that will connect into Kel's system, into Productivity Hub, which becomes full circle, which I'm really excited about. All right, so I'm not going to do a demo today. My purpose is not to do a demo. I'm going to show you the odd little features, but a couple of features because I have to, but this is not a feature demo. It is about your ability to understand that building your own private network is the most important thing you can do in the world. I do not like it when people fake being people. That's been a pet peeve all my life. I don't like fake people who are two-faced. And then along came this concept where you can actually have a bot that fakes itself and pretends to be a person. And I hate that even more. Now, I'm not against AI, and I'm not against automation at all. In fact, I think that AI and automation have a major role to play in the world that we're living in the future. But what I am against is when you're chatting to somebody on LinkedIn and that thing on the other end is pretending to be real. And I have an issue with that. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. So much so that I've documented a number of scams where people have taken their voices and synthesized their voices with AI, synthesized photographs into animated videos that look like the person, and gone so far as to make phone calls to loved one, pretending to be that person, and actually going to that loved one and saying, I need money or whatever, give me your password to your bank account, etc. This is where we're living in. We're living in this world of fakeness, and it's getting worse. So we need to come together as human beings and change that. And this is what mymosttrusted.net is all about. Put very simply, it sits on top of LinkedIn. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to build your own network of trusted connections. So I have added several people, over 800 of them, into my own personal private network using My Most Trusted. And now I have my trusted network, which is a little bit like a LinkedIn network, but I've taken the people that I know and trust using this tool, and I've put them into a separate database of only people I know and trust. I've given them some notes. I have tagged them, and now these tags are going to be important in the last couple of minutes when I talk about how this connects with Kel stuff. And then what I can then do is, for example, I met Mark Perrone yesterday. Within the last 24 hours, he's uploaded 11 of his own trusted connections. So I have my trusted connection private network. He has 11 in his own trusted connections. If I click on that, what I can then do is I can see his trusted connections. So he knows Sharon Miller. He knows Scott Landis. Great name, Scott. He knows Diana. If I want to meet Diana, all I need to do is request an introduction, give a reason, and then he can introduce to, Mark will then introduce me to Diana. Same with Sharon. In fact, if I go onto Sharon's LinkedIn profile, it actually tells me that Sharon is a trusted connection of Mark Perrone. Now, if I wanted to reach out to Sharon, the stupidest thing that I could possibly do is reach out to her cold with one of those awful, horrible, spammy, terrible messages that we all hate. What I do is I ask Mark Perrone for an introduction to Sharon, and I can start booking meetings very, very quickly. Now, we use white labeled versions of this particular tool, including the white labeled version that we use for the Connect Collaborative. I've made over 5 phenomenal partnerships in the last year with the Connect Collaborative. I've made way more partnerships and had way more meetings than that, of course, but I'm talking about 5 revenue generating partnerships. All of them, if they were on their own, would have made more money than I've spent on the whole Connect Collaborative so far. So it's a really powerful way that you can work within your network to be able to use My Most Trusted to amplify the connections that you're making. All right, now what you'll do with the My Most Trusted is you'll grow up what's called the Trust-O-Meter. This is a Trust-O-Meter that's going to be launching that takes you from newbie to junior networker to senior networker to super connector to trusted advisor. Don't worry, Cal, you're not just a newbie. I'll show you. I know you. Don't panic, mate. Don't panic. You're way beyond a newbie. So I'm just showing this for demo purposes. Now, as you work your way up your Trust-O-Meter, it's going to tell you what rewards you get when you hit the next stage. And you need to book meetings and actually build your audience in order to go up this fun little tool over here. And it'll actually grow, take you up section by section, and you're going to get a bunch of rewards. So this is the Trust-O-Meter, which we're really excited about. That's launching now as well. And that will allow you to actually grow your network. Now, let's talk about how we connect to Cal stuff. What will happen with My Most Trusted is that you have a really good little button over here. It's called Switch Network. Once again, don't worry about the tech that I'm showing you. Anybody can learn tech. If you don't know why you're doing something, then you're wasting your time. And the why is because you build your own private network of people you know and trust. You connect to the business networking group, like the Connect Collaborative, whatever you're part of. You connect with them, you amplify it, and you build an amazing trusted network around you. Now, while you're building that trusted network, you can switch and you can target a specific group of people. Let's say, for example, you want to break your database into this one I've done, which is targeting people who are business owners with PhDs. We are not against the outreach on LinkedIn and still reaching out to people cold, but the way that you do it needs to be warm. So it's not that you don't reach out to new people on LinkedIn. It's just the way that you do it, and always prioritize people within your network and who your network knows as the way to begin that relationship building process. If I really want to meet somebody and I've been trying to get into that company for a long time, and Cal says to me months later, goes, Scotty, you're trying to get into ABC company. I've known the owner for years. I'll just make a phone call. I'll be tearing my hair out because I didn't go to Cal first and say, Cal, I see you know ABC company. Will you please give me an introduction? It's not knowing who is in our other networks from a trusted connection perspective that makes the difference. And LinkedIn is awful for that purpose, because we have tons of crap in our LinkedIn and we can't separate those we trust from those we don't trust. So My Most Trusted allows you to separate those people, and then allows you to create an outreach program using, for example, PhDs. I'm targeting with people with PhDs, put them into a mini kind of sales pipeline as you go along. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. While you're taking people out of LinkedIn and while you're building up your little pipeline here, so there's my ready for first follow-up, ready for my second follow-up. I can see the invitations that I've made. I can also tag them, and and I can write notes if I truly wanted to. I can send them quick little messages on LinkedIn, all this cool stuff. While we're doing this, it's pulling their contact information, name, surname, company name, email address, phone number if they have a phone number, all this data that you're working on LinkedIn, while you're working on LinkedIn, gets pushed directly into Cal's productivity hub. And that's where all your connections sit. That's where all the work that you do on a daily basis, that's where the data enrichment comes from. If you don't have an email address, Cal System can go and find that email address. If that email address from one of these individuals happens to be on a don't send an email list somewhere in the world, you don't want to send them an email because then you can get blacklisted and your whole domain gets blacklisted. You will be able to actually use Cal's tool to be able to make sure that data is correct. And you can send bulk emails and do this whole stuff. So this is kind of like the top of the funnel that allows you to build partnerships, build relationships, and do amazing things. This is where My Most Trusted comes into it. But what really happens is as you're working with My Most Trusted, it pushes it into Cal's Productivity Hub. And then you've got a whole plethora of amazing things that you can do within Cal's Productivity Hub with that data that you have that takes your business to a whole nother level. And I want to finish off by saying that where this is so beautiful is that between My Most Trusted and all the other different plugins you're going to hear today, it gives you an end-to-end system. In other words, from how to get the first person into your database that you don't even know, that first lead that comes in. Where does that first person come from? How do you find your business? Is it from a networking event? Is it from My Most Trusted? Is it a referral? Or is it from Google that you've been looking to that Cal will talk to you about as well? Where does that first lead come from? And how do you nurture them all the way into a sale and then upsell and cross-sell? The entire spectrum from start to finish is covered in what we're going to be chatting to you about today. So mymosttrusted.net is the website address. I'm going to put that into the chat now. And I want to mention that this month we have 3 major launches coming up. We have put so much time and effort into this. My techies' eyes are bleeding. They haven't slept in days to put together the most amazing upcoming new version launch. I would love it if you guys could actually be at this launch. We're doing it across 3 different time zones. The Australia time zone, the Europe-Asia time zone, the Europe-Africa time zone, and the Americas time zone. I'm going to put a link into the chat right now. If you guys could make it to that event, I would love to have you there because this is going to be something truly, truly special. It's going to take networking to a whole new level. But once again, what matters is, and I want to finish off by saying, Cal, thank you so much, mate, for what you've done, because you are bringing humanity to a world that is rapidly losing its humanity, but
Absolutely.
without getting rid of tech, but using tech sparingly and using tech carefully so that we can really amplify and grow our business. Cal, thank you, mates. Thank you so much for giving me a chance today. I love you. And I'm going to see you in Thailand or Bali or somewhere in that area soon.
Mate, Scott, and folks, as you can hear the passion, both Guy and Scott, the passion in these guys to be able to make a difference. And Scott, you're 100% right, mate. This is about how do we create real relationships in a world that has actually lost it. That's a reality. And I'm not worried about the fact that, that technology is here and that AI is here. It's just the way in which we use it. And I guess one of the things I'm going to ask now, I've got Memphis here, one of my global team leaders over there. He's going to throw up a little bit of a poll for us. And I really want us to understand what it is and what's your thoughts about AI. All right. What is your real thoughts? Now, a lot of us have got these ideas and different things. You can just click on the screen there, click your different choices. What is your thoughts around it? If you use it, if you don't use it, if you hate it, if you think it's taken away your job, make your own thoughts. But what we are trying to achieve here at the Productivity Hub and the collaborations we're building is to understand that collaboration comes and business growth truly happens in a sustainable way when you've got human interactions. Now, I'm just going to give you a couple of statistics while you're finishing off that little poll there. All right. It's a leverage tool, guys. AI is a leverage tool. And so one of the stats in our world of technology, it's called a SaaS, software as a service. You might hear that word going around, SaaS. In our SaaS industry, a lot of people come and go. In other words, they sign up for the latest and greatest application. They stick around. And the reality is there is a lot of people who will stay for a short period of time. They don't get the support. They don't get anything they want. And then all of a sudden they go off and change. So it's 85% of people go off and they grab something and they disappear. We have the exact opposite within the Productivity Hub for a reason. And it's a partnership we have. So here's your here's the sort of responses we've got here. So a big lot of us are using it and love it, which is great. All right, don't use it and don't understand it. We've got a couple of people in that space, and there's a couple of others around. So these are great little responses to understand that if you use it, love it, and use it as a leverage tool, that's when it becomes an advantage. That's our philosophy here. That's how we want to do it. And it's and the reality is that it is something to embrace, not replace. All right. So just some little tips there on how you can actually start to think about what it is you're going to do with your AI. Okay, let's press on a little bit further. I'm just going to start up a little slideshow again. And I want to just go back and just share with you a couple of little things that's happening. So if you haven't already got it, there is the My Most Trusted QR code. Have a click on the screen there. Make sure you get that and install it. If you're already a CRM Hub user, now Productivity Hub, we'll go through it and show you how to use it. No problems at all. What I wanted to go on with is just a couple of the other things that really make a difference in your productivity world. One of our core reasons for doing what we're doing and trying to get as many things together as possible is so that it becomes less of a headache for you. And so you may have heard of things like Zapier. And so what we've now created is our own version of Zapier so that we can actually get less and less third-party applications and more consolidarity in it. And so Productivity Triggers is a new thing that's out there. It's at a fraction of the costs. All right, there is a benefit there for you as far as time saving is concerned. But the real saving is when you can actually do things that all sit in the one platform and don't have to worry about, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? So that's one of the things about our Productivity Triggers that's coming up. A lot more information going on there. Oh, I just did a series with Scott Kundle's group called A Purposeful Pod, talking about the nightmares and how to unleash yourself from the nightmares of your emails, either you're getting so much spam yourself and or your emails are not being delivered. And so email verification is really becoming a thing that we need to be able to do and or have different ways to communicate. So another one of the features we've added in here, it's an email verification process. We've also got a two-step authentication process now that allows you to be able to make sure that the people who are coming into your system, all right, are real people, not bots. That's the key, all right? So you want to make sure that people in your database, and if you're going off doing what I'd call a pretty silly thing, going off and getting a list from somewhere, this is a list that I've just bought from somebody for cheap, and you load it into your CRM, you're going to end up blacklisting yourself. So how do you get around it? You go through an email verification first. And so it's really important to be able to understand that. My next guest coming in here is a guy I've known probably the longest in this group. He's not a part of the CC, but his name is Michael Griffiths. He is a man that has influenced me in more ways than just giving me some tips and everything on how to do partnerships and everything better. So Michael, if you want to actually turn your video on, mate, Michael is going to talk to us a lot about what it is to, we've heard from Scott about getting some people out of LinkedIn, but what do you do with them? What do you do with it once you get clients or whatever? So Michael, over to you, mate. Tell us a little bit about what it is to create referral partners.
Thank you, Cal. Before I get into building communities and the importance of building communities, and the way that you see your clients as a tribe rather than individual clients. And it's one thing I love what Cal's doing here. It's not just, you've got your CRM hub, now Productivity Hub. Cal sees every single person as part of his tribe. And as part of the tribe, you can do so much more together rather than all as individuals. You can't make the impact that Cal wants to make as individuals. But when you bring everyone together, gee whiz, you can do an awful lot. Before I go there, for those that are with us that maybe aren't on CRM productivity hub, it took me ages. I was a big Entreport person, over a decade of Entreport going, it's nearly too difficult to change until we did change. And being able to refresh and create better workflows and be able to actually tap into where contacts, every single contact we speak to, pops up into our CRM. We can then nurture them properly. We can actually create proper workflows for them. It is just so much easier and so much basic. And for 18 months of procrastinating, that's 18 months I won't get back, but I wish I had done it an awful lot sooner, because what's been created here is just so simple to be able to use, but so efficient in saving you so much time, effort, money, and resources. So Cal, really well done on everything that's been put together here. And as I said, I wish I had moved an awful lot sooner rather than just listen to you and ignored you. But we live and learn, don't we? So
That's right, mate.
Yeah, let's get into the importance of Community Hub, which is something which is coming into Cal's Productivity Hub platform, where you have the ability to be able to build communities, put all of your clients together so they can interact with each other, so they can talk to each other. As we always say, like 15 brains is an awful lot better than just one brain. When we have our Partnership Club tribe, it's not just listen to Michael. I couldn't think of anything less. You get to listen to all these other smart people who have different experiences, who have different maps of the world, who have done different things. And that's where we get to learn, grow, and really be able to create thriving businesses, is when we do things together. And that's what Community Hub is all about. It's about being able to have people who can chat with one another, who can go into different discussions, who can share ideas, who can share ways that they've done things. If you really want to be able to have your clients never want to leave you, then don't make it about you. Make it about all of them. If you look all the way back to, if I was just to compare a Facebook platform to LinkedIn platform, they're very different cultures. Facebook platform was about community. LinkedIn platform was about business and being more professional. People want to be around other people. That connection is sort of something that goes back into the tribe days. When you think all the way back into millions and millions and millions of years ago, people want to be part of tribes. It hasn't changed. The way we act as humans from this tribe mentality, we need certain brain chemicals. We need oxytocin. That's the brain chemical of love and bond and trust and togetherness. We need the brain chemical of dopamine, where it's fun and exciting. Well, you get that from shared commonalities. See, we forget most of the time because we're so focused on delivering, or, hey, this is what I do, I'm going to become really good at doing that. That's important without a doubt. But usually what's more important and what makes your people stay is the way they feel towards you and the people around you. And that's what this new Community Hub is going to have the ability for you to be able to do. It's going to allow you to start creating communities, whether that's of your clients. Imagine creating communities where your prospects can come hang out and actually get more involved with you. See, I always sort of go, there's only a few things that make someone buy. It's got nothing to do with your price. And honestly, it has very little to do with the solution you offer, because they don't know the solution you offer and whether it's great and whether it's going to work or not. What they actually buy from is, do I resonate with you? I don't like them, know you, like me, trust you. It's too surface level. Resonate is, do I have a connection with you? Do we have commonalities which allow me to create a bond with you? That's what creates trust. Okay, so if you think about trust, it comes from commonalities, connection, and us creating a deeper bond. That's what creates trust. Right? So when you think, how do you do that? You don't do that by sending someone an email. You don't do that from putting up a social post. You do that through interaction. You do that through engagement with each other. And that's what this community hub is going to allow you to do, to actually be able to engage. So some of you might already run Facebook groups. Why was Facebook groups popular? Hey, there's a whole bunch of people who don't know how to use Facebook groups, so that's okay. But Facebook groups was popular because it created a community. It allowed you to be at the front of a community. And that's why Facebook groups were really good when Facebook groups were really good. Okay? So you have the ability here to be able to now create your own tribe, your own community, foster where you now get to. It's not about being the professor at the top or at the front of the class, the teacher at the front of the class. It's about you being part of a tribe. And when you lead a tribe, you get seen as the hub. And like Guy is seen as the hub, Scott is seen as the hub. And they are very happy to go, oh, I know this person, I know that person, I can put you to that person. I look through the attendance list, and there's so many great names here, great relationships with. And it's really easy to go, oh, well, in fact, Steve, you need to speak to this person, you need to speak to that person. Imagine you being able to do that within your own community, within your own little hub. That's the power of what you've got to do. Referrals come from that. When you make someone feel a particular way, guess what they want to be able to do back? Help you. It's a pretty simple ecosystem out there. Hey, you make someone feel a particular way, you care about someone else, you make sure that you make them feel good, and all of a sudden, hey, they want to do exactly the same thing back for you. So I think this community hub little feature that's coming in here is just unbelievable in terms of what you're going to have the ability to do. And please take advantage of creating tribes with your clients, tribes with just your wider networks.
Michael, you're an absolute legend, man. Those people who have not heard or not seen Michael's work, he's an absolute legend. I've known you now for probably very close on 10 years. Can I say this publicly and openly? It is the genius and everything and the inspiration that Michael has given me to create this partnership mentality. All right, he planted that seed in me many, many years ago, is that the only way to grow is through partnership. And that's how we've grown up until date. And so, number one, thank you. All right. And it has been, it's turned into, like we've got with Scott and Guy and different people here, a bit of a bromance. At least one way from me to you. I don't know if you're feeling the same, but the reality is, what Michael can do for you, if you're really looking to grow and understand the power of partnership growth, our platform will do the work, but you need somebody to help you. And so that's where Michael steps in. All right. So our support team, we know how to do it from a technical point of view. Michael will show you how to do it and get your thought right, to get those oxytocin, to get your whole limbic system in action. All right. So I'm just going to put up that little slide again as well. Just make sure, folks, please jump on board and at least have a look. All right. He will help you. The events that he runs are jam-packed full of value, and I know he can help you. All right. So please, Community Hub, yes, it is purely an extension in some respects of Michael's brain. All right. It is the facility to be able to do what you need to do, to be able to build a tribe, build a community where you can actually make a difference. And so that's where the whole productivity tribe is going to be built on. It's got an LMS built into it. It's got a place where an LMS, if you don't know what that is, it's a learner management system. In other words, you can build little courses. And so with a click of a tab, you can go to all the courses that everybody, as partners and everything, will put in there as well. It's not just coming from one place. So all these courses are going to be in there to help you take it from where you are now through to where you need to be long term. So, Michael, thank you very much for the inspiration, getting that going, helping me to form my thinking, inspiring me for so many years. And I am also going to say, in a tough time, I had a very tough time a couple of years ago. This guy put his hand up and said, "It's okay, Kel, I've got your back." And he did. He's been there ever since. So, mate, an absolute legend, folks. Thank you very much, Michael, and we'll move on. See you, bud. So, Community Hub, it is just another tool to be able to help you to become productive. We've all heard about the horrors, the absolute horrors that we have with, I've got this Facebook group and all of a sudden Facebook's blocked me or LinkedIn's kicked me out and put me in jail. You've heard all those things. The beautiful part about this is everything links together. You can have cross-pollination between groups. You get analytics in it. Quite a phenomenal little feature that will give you the benefit of building your own tribe. All right, Support Hub. Next little feature that we've thrown in there. This is the catalyst behind us being able to achieve the goal of trying to get our support running right. And so we've introduced this ourselves. It's been a system we've tried and tested. Again, another partnership. This is one's powered by Choc. It's a company called Infovix. Russell and Frederick, I believe, is on the line here today. A big shout out to you guys. Thank you for helping us as an organization become a lot more supportive in the way in which we support our clients. But it's a lot more than that. And so a lot of the different support systems you see out there are driven. There's a lot of AI and simple things where it's a self-help system. This is not a self-help replacement of a live person. This is to help you get some answers fast, all right? And it's going to be able to where you can find a solution. And so we're currently in the process ourselves of building up solution and solution after solution to all the different questions that get done. So those solutions are not built by AI. Those solutions are built by people, all right? Because we know how people think, and AI can only think so much. And so as we get the solutions, it will then use your keywords to be able to send you a solution that a person has actually put together tailored to your questions. Really cool little system. And as far as cost is concerned, if you're looking to actually grow a business where you're going to deal with a lot of clients and they're going to need a lot of support, all right, this is now going to be a feature that not only we're going to be able to support you, but you can actually use and plug in to support your clients as well. So double feature there, which is cool. All right, our next legend that's going to join us in here, a guy that I've actually known him for a little while. Toby, if you want to jump in now, mate, jump into our little session here. Toby is a guy that I've known for, we've probably known each other for a couple of years through the Connect Collaborative, CC, but we caught up for the first time belly to belly, and both of our bellies rubbed together pretty well. They seem to go before us quite well, but we caught up in Bali just a little while ago, mate, and you shared some real gold nuggets in your history. Yeah, you've been a university lecturer in entrepreneurship for a long time. So Systems Hub, mate, is all about building systems, but I just want to hand it over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what this whole journey of getting a sustainable business and systems is in place is so important.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Kel. Really great to actually meet you in Bali. It was really good. And for those of you that don't know, we've actually written a book together now. So between Shoma and a few attendees, and it's called How We Met in Bali. So, and the subtitles, Don't Let Your Monkey Steals Your Balls, but we'll let you guys figure that one out for you. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm based in Melbourne and I'm an educator in entrepreneurship, but I'm also a serial entrepreneur. So I've been in this game or entrepreneurship for 30 years. So I've seen a lot, done a lot, I've won a lot, I've lost a lot. And I guess that goes with the nature of entrepreneurship. And anyway, so part of what I do is really work with businesses to help them test and validate their idea before they launch. So I've seen a lot of businesses launch businesses, sort of people launch businesses, and then they really don't get anywhere. So they kind of get stuck in the mud a little bit. And part of the problem, of course, is what I've discovered over the years, it's a human thing and it's a technological thing. And one of the biggest things about many of these people that start businesses and become solopreneurs, or I just call them just self-employed, really, is that they don't really know how to let go. And so I see this over and over, the same patterns occurring. And in fact, probably Kel and I could write a book about this, because Kel and I were talking about this on another panel recently. And it was the same sort of observations of people making the same mistakes. And one of the mistakes, of course, is they go off and and try to scale the business before their product or service is actually ready. And one of the things I was telling Kel in our retreat, which Kel attended, was that when you scale before the product is ready, you actually magnify your losses, right? So you want to figure this out earlier on. You want to figure this out at a low cost. And then if it fails, then it doesn't cost you a lot of money as if when you build a business and then you start promoting it, advertising, put it on Facebook, LinkedIn, spending a lot of money and realizing that actually nobody really cares about your business. All right. So that's one of the things, is that I want you to sort of walk away from this thinking, okay, let's get the product or service right before we start scaling. But then, of course, one of the issues that most entrepreneurs have is technology, and being able to, I guess, put technology in place is really challenging. And it's one of the things that I've discovered to be successful, or to move from a 7 or 8 figure business. It might be easy to get to a 6 figure business on your own, but really, if you want to get to 7 or 8 figure businesses, there is a challenge. And there's 2 challenges, of course. One is the technology, and one is the human side of things as well. So unless you're able to solve them, then really you're just going to end up being what I call self-employed, or in most cases, it's really a job with headaches. And when you look at the facts about self-employed entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, they really earn less than like, $1,000 a week after all the expenses. And for me, I'd rather just get a job. And at least I don't have all those headaches. So getting your technology right and your productivity, and of course I'm a client of Kel's as well. And then I use the CRM hub, which is now called the Productivity Hub. And I'm looking forward to getting to know all the tools, especially what Kel was talking about. He's introducing systems into or predefined systems into the Productivity Hub as well. So you've got a particular business or type of business, systems and processes. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You really just can plug into what's already existing. And I think that is a really amazing thing to try to plug into, rather than trying to search on Google or whatever it is to try to find a solution, or paying people to actually get the solutions. Keller's already it's already in the system and in the Productivity Hub. So I'm not sure if you already mentioned that, Kel, but maybe you want to sort of enlighten people a bit about that.
Yeah, I'd love to. And as you said, mate, like the frameworks that Toby puts together, and please, Toby, make sure you drop a little bit of a link in there where people can get to know and connect up with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you can scale if you want to scale a business, the only way to scale it is to be able to delegate, to be able to be the leader and to be able to delegate. And the whole idea of Systems Hub is something, and if I get a little bit emotional here, it's for a reason. This has been something that I have had in my hands for nearly 10 years, waiting for technology to catch up to my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so Systems Hub is not just about, there's a lot of systems around out there that allow you to load your systems into. That's okay. All right. You can use Google Sites or SharePoint. They're free depending on what ecosystem you're using. Where the difference comes with Systems Hubs is this. You've heard throughout this whole day that it's about partnership. It's about creating partnerships with people who are experts in their field, at the top of their game. You've heard from a couple of these people. Partnerships themselves, Michael Griffiths, there is no better person to understand how to build a tribe than Michael Griffiths that I've ever met. That's all he does, is about how do you build tribes. Scotty Kundle, how do you build relationships through LinkedIn? So these are all systems. They're a step-by-step system. And what you see here in this slide on the right-hand corner there are systems, step-by-step systems that have been built by experts. So where Systems Hub puts itself all on its own is, number one, there is already a group of 35 plus industry experts that have put together over 200 fully adapted systems that are tried and trusted best practice in the world. Okay. The actual system for putting these systems together has been out there. So talk about productivity, how better to get your systems built then use something that starts from a position of an expert positioning. All right. Now, that's great. Okay. So now you've got a reservoir of systems that you can now adopt into your business. Awesome. 200 of them. But we're going one step further. We've gone one huge leap forward. So I've already invited a part of our partner program within the Productivity Hub. And our philosophy is, how do we join the minds of the geniuses around the world? Toby, in what he's unlocked in my mind has been huge. And so I need to be able to, I want to tap into that more. And so I want to share that with the world. So what the systems allow us to do here, you can build your own system and you go, hang on a second, I think there's a market, or there could be a market for the system that I create. All you've got to do in this platform is you click on a button and your system can be then added to the global system database, and you now create a revenue from that. Now, some of them might be very much your own IP, but let me just say to you, if you don't think partnership and sharing, if you think that you're the only genius that's doing your thing on the planet, that's okay. But if you really want to gain some traction, it is where you actually put your stuff into the world and you get like-minded people around you to create partnerships. That is the part that this is a massive difference. And so, Toby, it's a pretty cool system for those people who are already on our product. All right, they'll be getting this loaded up free of charge. All right, so anybody, we've only got 3 prices. All right, 99, 130, 199. Anybody who's on the 199 package gets this automatically, and all our partners get the upgrade for free as well. All right, so that's a part of this launch party. And if you've already got another CRM, that's okay. We understand that not everybody wants to change over, despite what we actually heard from Michael earlier on. It took him 18 months for me to convince him to move, and it's the best thing he's ever done. But the reality is some of us don't want to move, and therefore not yet, but in the not too distant future, this is going to go on the open market. So you don't have to have our CRM components and all the rest of Productivity Hub to have Systems Hub. That's why in a lot of cases, these are broken up into different pieces. All right, so that gives you a bit of an idea about what it is, how it might work, et cetera, et cetera. And so any comments on that one, Toad?
No, it's looking amazing, because we can spend a lot of time building these systems, and I guess they're really important. Systems, procedures, all those things, and that's the key to growth. That's the key to growing your business. People underestimate that, and of course, learning to let go as well, really important. And most entrepreneurs who are solopreneurs actually kind of stretch that elastic a little bit, and then realize that they actually don't have the capability, so they just go back to where they were. And that's why learning to let go is really important. But of course, you need the processes and the systems and the technology to support you. Otherwise, you're going to be working 80, 90 hours a week, micromanaging a business. And to me, that's not a good way to go.
Absolutely not.
I mean, my idea of a business is being on a tropical beach and having a great time, and then your business is turning over and over and over, and it's still clicking. It hasn't caught fire, hasn't exploded. So if you can build that sort of business, I think that is a real business, where you're not actually working at all. That's my ideal anyway. So happy to chat to anyone about that if they really want to talk more.
Definitely go, guys. He's got his calendar link in there. Go in there, book a time on the calendar link. All right, remembering it's really about making sure you've got something that's sustainable. All right, Systems Hub is about sustainability. We're about creating time and freedom. All right, and systems are the way to do it. And so many gurus are going, "Oh, you've got to build a system," but nobody's really out there saying this is how to build the system. They're actually saying just build it. And so the Systems Hub is not just a tool to hold your systems. There's a course and there's systems in there on a system, how to build a system. All right. Absolutely. And you've got our support team to actually be able to help that, and all the experts that are going to give you some pre-populated stuff. So it's a pretty cool little tool. So we're going to actually just launch out now, just while we're finishing off this little section. I'm just going to ask a little question about what's the ecosystems that you're using. All right. So, and the other one that I'm going to ask for in a second. So what's the ecosystem? Are you using Microsoft, Google, Apple, or something else? All right. So just throw your responses in there for us. That just helps us, all right, to know where to focus on next. And so there's no use developing our systems around doing something for instance, Linux, all right, if most people are out there saying, hey, I want some information all about Google. All right, so you should see a little question, a little poll that's been put up there. What ecosystem do you use? Click on your responses there. I'll give you a couple of seconds on that. And so again, thank you for turning up here, because now just turning up to this launch party, you're now going to give us some really, really cool data, all right, to be able to help to develop the next level. All right, so it's pretty equal at the moment. So we're pretty equal between Microsoft and Google. All right, a couple of people are saying Apple. All right, some people don't actually, that might have, we've got a couple of comments coming in here. I use 3. Can I just say this very clearly, folks? Okay, this is just a productivity tip. Use 1. You're going to actually have your different pieces stored in different places. You might have a OneDrive and a Google Drive and a Dropbox, for transferring of data, but use 1 to make your business solid. If you have your data and different things in different places, it makes it impossible to find. If you need some more information on that, we've got a whole bunch of trainings on that, free trainings on how to help you do that. So here we go. It's a pretty much an even Steven area. So the results are pretty much 50-50 between 52% on Google, 41% on Microsoft. We use Google ourselves, but we develop for both sides. But let me just say where Google is going, and with their whole idea with their different AI tools, et cetera, they're actually a step ahead. All right, they're a step ahead of Microsoft at the moment, and they're going to make a massive difference into the future. They still, just being on Google doesn't mean you rank any better SEO or anything like that. So don't think about that side of things. It's just about where you're going to get the best productivity from. The other question I'm going to ask here as well is, do you already have a CRM or not? All right. If you already have, if you're using the CRM hub, which if you log in now, you go over and log in a little bit later on today. All right. After we finish the session, if you go in now, you'll see the rebrand already happened. All right. And if you haven't, just refresh your page and it'll come up for you. And we're also going to give you an opportunity to be able to get all these new features and everything in there, because some of them, all right, this is not about trying to bump up prices. Some of them have a cost to us. So we're just going to pass on the raw cost. All right. We're not trying to get any extra dollars out of this. And if you don't have a CRM at the moment and you want to make some time with us, Memphis is on the call here with us now. You can drop in a little chat to him. He'll, just go in there. If you actually go into the chat, you can actually click on, he's one of the co-hosts here, Memphis Jesse. All right, you might like to drop him a message if you like to be able to make a time. All right, to be able to have a bit of a chat about anything. He's happy to be able to do that at any time as well. So as far as the results are concerned, we've obviously got quite a few people here that are already users of our product, which is great. There is no bad ones, guys. They're just different. All right. It's about where do you get the best system from? All right. What is the support you're going to get? And sometimes when you're getting something for free, a lot of people still use the free things. Free things eventually are not free. Eventually they start to cost you, all right, when you get to a stage where your business grows. So always be aware of that. Memphis and myself, we're going to be running a whole bunch of sessions over these next couple of weeks about how do we actually help you to really analyze your business, what technology you have, what support system or budget, etc. We are here to help. All right. I hope you've heard that very, very clearly today. We are here to help. So really, really cool day so far. I'm going to start to wrap it up. All right. We've been going for just a little bit over an hour now, and I'm just going to wrap it up with a couple of last pieces for us to nail home the heart and soul of what Productivity Hub is all about and us as a company. We have built a system here 100% designed by partnership, by collaboration, and by listening to our people. Have we always done everything 100% right? Have we made mistakes? You betcha. But it's through our mistakes, it's through our learning, and it's through the loyal clientele that we have that we will continue to improve and make a difference. Our goal is to be a world-class provider that creates an opportunity or a support system to help you grow no matter what you do. And one of the biggest things, biggest passions we have is this idea of making sure that we are giving back. Now, I obviously live now in Thailand, all right, but I've been coming to Thailand now for many years, and I see the devastation that happened with the tsunami here many years ago, and the ongoing effect of that, particularly on children who are being trapped in different areas and being put out there and abused and put into child pornography, et cetera, et cetera. It's a shame. And so partnering up, Productivity Hub is partnering up with Destiny Rescue with the idea that not only can we actually provide a product and some assistance to these young ladies, but potentially also provide jobs for them long term. That's the goal. And so we're going to start, we've just started our company. The company is now being registered here in Thailand. All right. It's now our seventh company around the globe, as I said, already in 7 countries, 5 different offices, and Thailand's another one. And the charity ride we're going to be putting together is about having, number one, an experience. If anybody likes to bike ride, mate, you'll love this. If anybody likes community, you'll love this. And if anybody wants a challenge, you'll love this. And if anybody wants to make a difference, you'll absolutely thrive in this environment. And so the charity ride in 2004 will be towards the end of the year. We're looking at about September. More information on that coming very shortly, but we would love to be able to do that. A part of a rewards program we're putting together, which is an online rewards program where you can actually do all your grocery shopping, everything you can pretty much think of. It's only within Australia at the moment, but it will go global over time. But there's a rewards program whereby you can get all your groceries for a lot cheaper than what you can now. You get discount cards. You can buy a card for $100, a $100 gift card. All right. And it's only going to cost you $95. So literally you're going to save 5% off every card you get. And also for every dollar you spend through that particular site will go, at least a 3% will go towards Destiny Rescue. So you win, Destiny Rescue wins, everybody wins in this process. And the other one I just want to give you an understanding of, coming up in March, it's something that Toby mentioned. We are, again, about whole person well-being. We understand that time and freedom is a big part. Toby's come back on here, mate. Minecraft is a brand new little adventure that we're just trying to get out there and everything now. And we're going to be doing these global events. So Toby, do you want to tell a little bit about what's happening with Minecraft and where we're up to? It's still fledgling days, but what's coming up for us soon?
Yeah, sure. It's pretty exciting times because what we're noticing is people's health and especially mental well-being deteriorating. And there's no point in trying to reach 6, 7, or 8 figures if you can't actually enjoy it. It can't have proper health and proper well-being. And I think that's one of the things that's overlooked by many entrepreneurs is their own well-being. So one of the things we're focusing on is building retreats. And we ran our first retreat in Bali in June. And it was quite interesting because Kel came along as a participant, and so did Shoma Mitra, and they decided to join, although Shoma has gone on to do much better things now, of course. But we're forming a partnership, and what we want to do is we want to do this on a global level. And when we mean global, we want to run retreats probably 3 or 4 times a year around the world. And our focus is around leadership development, personal development, entrepreneurship development, all with a focus on mental well-being and mental wellness. I think certainly it has become more and more of a focus these days, because I was talking to a psychotherapist recently and through one of those networking events, and she's been doing this for 20 years. And I said to her, how's business? She goes, business is booming. I go, well, what do you mean? And she said, well, the type of people I'm getting now aren't what I would expect. And I said, well, what are they? And she said they're mostly founders and business owners are suffering from anxiety and depression. And she also said that many of them are actually suicidal and are successful and have been successful business owners. And that's a little bit sad thing to see, considering that when you read the news, you know, they say, you know, 1 in 2 or whatever people are suffering from anxiety, depression. But I think in the world of business, it is a lot higher. So if we can do anything, to try and sort of fix this up and help people with their well-balance and wellness and balance and the work-life balance, I think that is a really important thing to try and help people with. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Cal? And you're
Look,
part of this journey.
I know myself. Like, this is no secret. You know, I mentioned a little bit earlier on, you know, how appreciative I was of Michael Griffiths and the support that he's given me personally when going through some significant challenges. Mental health is something that I battle with very, very real. And without those people around you, without somewhere to be able to connect with, it's a lonely world.
Yeah. Especially as a business owner. You know, business is a lonely journey. And sometimes I kind of feel that, hey, I'm the only one that's like this. And then you realize that you look around you in your peers or your business peers, they're actually on the same journey in themselves. And it's sometimes hard to talk to your family or friends or whatever. They're just they're not interested, or they don't understand your journey or your pains. But when you have a community or people around you where you can actually share this experience, then you feel, first of all, you're not unique. Everyone's going through the same journey, and it's a place to vent as well and share. So to me, those things are important, and that's the aspect of, I guess, having a community of entrepreneurs or business owners. So coming back to what you were saying earlier on, building that part of that productivity hub, or that's sweet. Yeah,
absolutely. And look, I think the biggest learning piece for me in this is, as a business owner, all right, and as an entrepreneur particularly, and there is a difference, all right, as an entrepreneur, we have a tendency to think differently. Let's be real. And when we have a thought, I quite, as you used to call it, a brain fart. You know, when I had one of my brain farts, there's a brain fart that I had when I started CRM Hub. All right. And so if I'd listened to the people who didn't understand me, and I was listening to my family and friends, and listened to some people in the business world who said, why the hell would you want to start another CRM company? All right. If I had listened to them, what we're talking about today would never have existed. But I was convinced that there's a place in the market for a productivity hub, somewhere you're going to get support, somewhere you can create a community, a tribe of people that's holistically about well-being. All right. And so that's what we've been able to do here. And so, meeting with lots of you, mate, it's like mental health is real. Yeah. And if you're an entrepreneur, it becomes very real.
And I think since post-COVID, that's actually become even more prevalent. And I think that the next journey of leadership is really spirituality or spiritual leadership. And I'm not talking about the woo-woo spirituality. I'm actually talking about science-based spirituality or spiritual quotient. There's lots of research done on that, which is the next level of emotional intelligence. Because, we're living in a world that's just crazy. It's crazy batshit, as we always talk about it. And I think there needs to be some sort of clarity around the whole thing, and having a focus around spirituality, I think is really, really important, because it does give you that balance and mental balance. And I know for myself, what's saved me is actually a daily meditation practice. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I know that if I didn't practice this, and I've been practicing this for 30 years, that I would have gone bonkers by now. And I can see why why people do get depressed or anxious. And by having a focus on spirituality and especially holistic approach, I think it really saves you from the jaws of depression and anxiety, because I just focus on the now. I don't focus on the past, which causes depression. I don't focus on the future, which causes anxiety. I just say, let's be in the moment. And I think that's an important element for your well-being, is let's get back to that sort of basics as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Toby, been a legend, mate. Thank you very much for turning up, talking and sharing your wisdom and about everything about that, guys. If you haven't already, have a look at his link, book a time with him. He is a person to listen to. All right. He will help you to unpack. If you've got one of those brand new, brainy ideas, all right.
Or brain farts.
Well, that's right. If you've got a brain fart, all right, and you feel that nobody's listening to you, Toby will listen. He loves to listen to people fart. No, I wouldn't say that he likes to listen to people farting, but the reality is Toby's got an ear and a knack to be able to wade through an idea and go, and ask the right questions to make sure it turns your idea, all right. You have a terminology you talk about, quite often, the ugly baby or something or other. Tell me.
Yes, I can actually tell you if your baby's ugly or not. In fact, that's one of the hardest things to do, because everyone's in love with their baby, and I look at the baby and go, "Ooh, that's not very good looking." So, and in a subtle way, basically, or at least get you to the point of thinking about, maybe my baby isn't that pretty as well, because a lot of the time we're just locked in our cognitive biases, and what we think is really not necessarily what the market wants. So that's something you got to figure out, and it does take a bit of work, and I can sort of help you, at least steer you in that direction, or help you with those fundamentals that you need to figure out before you start spending money. And the reality is 80% of businesses do fail within 5 years. It used to be at 95%, but it is getting better. But still, it's a lot of hard work to do something, and then your baby dies because it is so ugly. Anyway, I'll leave on that note. Yeah.
But thanks very much, Toby. Folks, we're just going to wrap up here a little bit now, and I just want to give you a bit of a summary, and I'm going to finish off with 2 more slides. The summary here for us is Productivity Hub is a place of partnership collaboration. It's been built off collaboration, and it will continue to grow through collaboration. That's what we're all about. And so I really, I guess, urge you to think, what is it that you want to do? What's the idea that you've got? All right. And how do you actually take it there? And so one of the other features we've put in here, and I just call it one of the benefits we're facilitating through this technology, is a marketplace, a partner marketplace. So each of the partners that you've been talking with here, we're now slowly building a nice little marketplace where we can put our own products on there and share it to the world. And so if you're looking to create another place that is free, all right, to be able to put in your and market your particular product, you might want to consider becoming a partner in the partner program with Productivity Hub. One of the ways you can actually find out more about that is through side hustles. All right. If those people, you've probably heard this terminology being rattled around for quite some time. It's becoming very popular on YouTube and etc. But scan that little one through the Connect Collaborative. We have a number of different events. All right. There's some coming up next week. All right. That I want to make sure that we actually fill up, get as many people in there. Remembering, to be able to have a sustainable life, you need more than one income. That's the reality these days. All of us now have been hit between the eyes with COVID. All right. COVID closed down the majority of businesses around the world, or affected it in many, many ways. All right. Pivoting wasn't enough for most businesses. And so therefore, having a side hustle or having an alternative income that is not distracting to your current main business, that is not distracting to you and to take you away from what your core business is. But the marketplace is where you can actually create that and get some exposure, and also say, hey, hang on a second, that's a potential partnership I can do with, that I might be able to offer their product alongside of my product because it makes sense. So great way to do that is through the marketplace and the side hustle philosophy. Also, Productivity Hub launch. This is a launch party. All right. I'm going to close off with just saying, if you are looking to be able to understand more about what Productivity Hub is going to be doing into the future, what it can do for you, how can we support you, whether you're an old CRM Hub user or not, whether you want to be a changeover or not, all right, we're going to give you an opportunity to be able to do that. You can click on here. All the different products you've seen in here are going to be added to the 197 product with all free of charge, all right, and included as a part of our launch party offering. More than anything, what I'm about is creating time and freedom. Time and freedom. And if you are wanting to get your time and freedom back, I would love for you to put yourself into our productivity tribe. You can be there. You do not have to be a user of our products. This is me just saying to you, how can I help? All right. If one day you become a user, awesome. If you don't, awesome. It's okay, provided you actually get the time and freedom that you want. And so at our launch, all right, was always about creating that space for you to say, this is safe. This is a place where you can actually feel like you can sign up to something without feeling like you're going to get pounded with a whole bunch of stuff. I promise you, you will not. Only if you ask for assistance, you ask for information. If we collect the data on that particular site, it is to collect the data so that we can give you the responses that you are asking for. All right. So again, there it is. Sorry, I dropped it off there before. Productivity Hub, just take a shot on there. You'll actually put in there and we'll send you some resources and some tools to be able to help you to be able to get from where you are now to where you want to be in the future. We're going to have a whole bunch of new resources, new trainings, all going to be free of charge to be able to help you in that tribe. All right? If you want to join the tribe, that's the way in which you'll be able to join. And you can actually get some resources to help you go from where you are now into the future. You'll be able to connect with any of the legends we've had on here, and it's going to be amazing, amazing little place to be. So that's all I've got for you today. We're actually going to finish around about 20 odd minutes early. I have got a whole group of people waiting for me in the office next door. We're about to have the opening of our Thailand office. And so it's been an amazing day for me. I didn't get the emotions that I thought I would, remembering 5 years I've been working through this particular area, 10 years for Systems Hub, to bring this together and to gather together with some amazing, amazing people. There's a lot of other people here that are not here today that I want to give some thanks to. Debbie Small, I think Debbie is actually in the room today. I've seen so many people coming and going. Debbie Small, again, Empowerment Point. She's one of our key partners. There she is now. Let me just bring her in so that we can actually add her in there. Debbie, you want to turn yourself on there, mate?
Yep. Give me just a moment. Camera on. Okay. Sorry, won't be a sec.
You're all right, mate. So Debbie runs Empowerment Point. When you talk about being a networking guru, right, she is one of the ladies. She's out there sharing people, connecting people left, right, and center. And so again, if you want to drop in your stuff and everything a little bit in there, let me just hide. Can you see? Can you get in there at all?
Yeah, I can. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Bit of a techo thing. Look, she's got a really beautiful photo on the screen there, so that's okay. She's as beautiful face to face as she is in the photo. But the reality is, Deb, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what Empowerment Point's about. All right, it's a great platform to be able to do things. So tell us a little bit about it, mate.
Thank you for that, Cal. Empowerment Point was built because I was stuck and because I was screwed by a couple of so-called business experts and because I didn't know what I was doing in different ways. So we're an expert in our own area, but we can't be an expert in every area as much as we try to be. So Empowerment Point is the global umbrella over leading experts around the world, including quite a number of people on here today, which is great. And also networking groups around the world as well, because I truly believe that every person needs a community to be part of, and not everyone knows where to find one. And also too, we collaborate with amazing people like Kel as well with CRM Hub, which is amazing. And Kel, you keep growing it in so many different ways that you're really streamlining it for so many people and making their lives easier, which is fantastic. So thank you so much for that. And also too, today we had other members on. We had Scott Cundall, who is amazing with his white labeling of his My Most Trusted. And so much so, he really has a desire to help us all to remove the bots and to make it so we're building real relationships with human beings. So thanks for that, Scott. And also the lovely Toby as well. So Toby, what you're doing is amazing too. So we all collaborate together, which is an amazing thing. And it just means that we can help so many more people in a shorter time, which is all that we want to do. Thank you.
Thanks so much there for that, mate. Look, this has been an amazing day. For me, it's not over. As I said, I've got a team full of people here to be able to entertain now. All right, for the live party part of it. Unfortunately, we can't have a live party, and I should have probably invited everybody over to Thailand. It's a beautiful place.
We're coming.
Start swimming, Toby.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I also, when we talk about collaboration, and I'm going to finish on this point very clearly. When we talk about collaboration, you just never know where that's going to go. And I just wanted to again thank a couple of people and identify a couple of people that's in the community here today in this launch party today. The first one is Sydney Thompson. So Sid and I were connected through Scott Cundall, and together what we're about to launch starting on the 10th of August. All right, so Sid, if you're there and you can hear this, if you want to drop in a link, if there's any links that you want to share with anybody, everybody will still get it in an email very shortly. But on the 10th, we're going to be running an event. Win Trade Global is the name of the organization. And so together, Sid, myself, and another partner that Scott has put together, Leon Ladigan, are going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff to help particularly women who are struggling. They're struggling with whether they've been immigration and everything from Africa through into the UK, and they're just struggling and they need a hand to get a business established. So it's like an early startup thing, and we're partnered with that. We're going to be supplying Productivity Hub to that particular community in a charity format to be able to do things. There's the link in the chat there to the masterclasses for 2023 for Win Trade Global. Thanks for that, Sydney. Really looking forward to that. All right, we're going to make the difference in the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of women who need a hand to get the business started. That partnership that Scott introduced me with Sydney, then got me to connected with Leon Ladigan, and now we're going to be doing the same thing in South Africa. 70% of students leaving school in South Africa are leaving without prospects of a job. And so what Leon has done is created a mission to try and help those school children that are leaving, all right, into the world of entrepreneurship. And so he is going to do that. All right, again, Productivity Hub is going to go in there and donate our product for a period of time to be able to allow them and leverage that so they can get a good quality startup done. They get the education, and again, tapping into these different tribes that we're going to set up through the different community groups. So really, really excited about those ones and some other areas we want to do. So if you are keen to leverage, you are keen to grow your business, to look for other opportunities, for find partnerships, there is a place here for you, okay? There is a place here that you can actually grow, and we will make sure that everybody and anybody who's turned up here today and registered, all right, will all get a copy of this, and you'll also be receiving, just so you know, it's not a spam, you'll be receiving some information, and you can opt in or out, all right, for ongoing communications on how you can be involved in the different programs we've got going to help some of the people in the communities, Thailand, Africa, South Africa, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all for now, all right? I'm just sitting there, it is really good exposure, all right? So it's a really good exposure opportunity. If you're a local company, you want to go global, all right, what better way to do it than with a business and an organization that has a passion for the world, all right? We are going to make a difference. It's not if, it is now when. And I couldn't say that 5 years ago. It was a bit of a dream, all right? The dream has now become a reality with the launch here today. And as I said, it's been absolutely phenomenal to share this this day with all those people that are here. If it had to go, come along. All I can say is thank you. Thank you to the many people that played a part in that. I probably missed a whole bunch of people. One of the people I am going to make a special word to, the person who has actually been with me the longest as far as employment and or working in partnership. That is a guy by the name of Francis Lee. He's here today. Francis, I'm going to actually put you on the spot, man. I'm hoping that you're actually listening in and you're not just got your thing on for us. But I would love to honor this man big time. He has been with us through thick and thin. He was one of the first people that we employed in our team over in the Philippines. So are you there at all, Francis? It looks like it's promoted you. Yeah, I've got something wrong here in Zoom that's not promoting you, mate. Are you there? Francis, can you
It's
hear
like
me?
the old days, yeah, the old seances. You know, it's Francis out there. You know, calling Francis.
Oh, Francis, are you there?
Let's get the Ouija board happening.
Okay. It looks like we're having a bit of a techo things to try and get people in. But Francis, all right, been with us the longest, all right, as far as the company is concerned, was there, as I said, through thick and thin, and he has stuck around. He has helped us build a phenomenal team in the Philippines, and the inspiration he has given me and the support, another bromance, but more importantly, it's a friendship that we've grown in a working relationship that's pretty much second to none that I've ever had. So Francis, thank you very much for that. And on that note, before I get all emotional, I'll hand it off to you guys. Again, thank you very much. Watch out for this particular video. It's going to be out there. We're going to cut it up into little pieces, give it some highlights of different people. We're going to use it for promotional. And if you're looking to partner, please get in contact with us. Until then, we will take it from here. Be in contact with us. Do whatever you need to do. There is the last opportunity to grab a hold of the code to be able to get in and connect with us and ask a little bit about some stuff. And I'll leave you now with our closing little video, all right, that really gives you a summary of what we're all about here within the Productivity Hub. Have a good one, folks. And for those people who have wanted to stay around and stick around a little bit, if you'd like to take yourself off mute, all right, little candid time, ask any questions that you would like as a bit of a reward for sticking around right to the end. So we've got a quiet, a room in the house is quiet, so I'll sign off. Take it all easy, folks. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Take what you have, go forth and multiply.